Yeah, yo, everyone. DrJaceAttorney here, back with another live reaction to, well, it's really not another one because this is our first one, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba The Hinokami Chronicles 2. We finally have an announcement trailer for the next Demon Slayer game, the next Hinokami Chronicles. I know we had that one board game that was kind of like our stopgap in between Hinokami 1 and now this one. So this will be very interesting. I haven't seen the trailer yet, but like I have thoughts on just CyberConnect 2 in general, and I wonder if this trailer is gonna maybe change my mind on my thoughts, but I won't get into it right now. Let's just watch the trailer first. Let me see if it changes anything, and then we'll talk about it at the end. But if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up down below. Helps the video in the YouTube algorithm. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon so you do not miss content whenever we upload new stuff. Let's not waste any more time. Demon Slayer, the announcement trailer of Hinokami Chronicles 2, underway in 3, 2, 1, ba-bam. Let's see. Be the one. Did it say footage on placed? I think it did. I think it did. Bum bum. Dum dum. Hashira unites. Ooh. Set your heart ablaze. Beautiful. The sound Hashira, we love him. The Mist had a mid-arc, but, we still love him. Oh, okay. She's finally making her debut into the game. That's from the Hashira training, I think. Ah, the Wind Boys and the Stone. Okay. Thoughts, the story continues. Okay, Entertainment District. Nice. And of course, the Stone Smith Village. Actually, I never stay too far in the end. Our forged bonds. Ooh. Ooh, duos. Okay. Interesting. And lives. All right. Is that it? What? 2025. Okay, next year. Good stuff. Good stuff. We got, well, that's not really a release date, but we have an idea. We know something's coming out next year. Okay. This kind of solidified what I was thinking of earlier. Okay, so from what we see so far with Hinokami Chronicles 2, it looks like it's going to be going through... It's definitely doing Entertainment District art because that's the one that follows directly after Mugen Train, and I actually started playing Hinokami Chronicles very recently, like within the last month or two, and that game stopped like at goodness, where did it stop at? Mugen Train. Mugen Train was the final arc in there. It did have DLC for the Entertainment District characters, but obviously, it's not the same as adapting a full-ass arc like the way CyberConnect 2 does. So we still have that to look forward to regarding story content. The thing I have with this is CyberConnect 2 definitely knows how to hype up their games. They know how to hype up, for example, like their Naruto games, Demon Slayer, whatever IP they're attached to, they will make a bomb-ass trailer and show you the best parts of their games while showing off, the cinematics and the flair and whatnot, which ideally that's what you want to do. But I think with CyberConnect 2, over the years, I've become pretty jaded towards their games, and I never buy them day one. I buy them when they are at a comfortable price range where I'm either getting the complete version of the game or I'm getting it at such a steep price where it's like the price justifies whatever I'm gonna, walk out of this game with. I played Hinokami Chronicles Part 1, the game, recently. And while there are bits in the story that, the single player that I enjoyed, it was overall disappointing, but for me, and I think it's because CyberConnect 2 over the years they've become more I don't even know what the word is because I don't want to say lazy. They're not lazy, but I think they become content with doing somewhat of the bare minimum. And what I mean by that is there's a huge zeitgeist of 3D anime arena fighters, right? Not a lot of games can hold a candle to be at the very top because they're a dime a dozen. There's an anime 3D fighting game like probably at least twice or once a year every year. And most of the time, they're not that good, right? They're not that good. In comes in CyberConnect 2 with their Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series, and they, for the most part, set the standard for what you can expect in games like this. Really good 3D arena fighters with the Naruto series. I love them to an extent. But I think as their popularity went up, CyberConnect 2's, I think they started just trying less and less to push the envelope when it came to the type of content they put in their game or how much, how in depth they make the combat itself. And they just make it barely serviceable, right? Hinokami Chronicles 1, I like the gameplay. I don't like that there's barely any characters in it to an extent. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of characters that just feel very similar, right? You have Tanjiro, water style user. You have Giyu, water style user. You have I forget the guy's name. It starts with a U, but the guy, the Tanjiro's teacher, the one with the red mask and the long nose, another water style user. Very similar characters, but their animations are different. They have different ultimates, stuff like that. But it just came off as there's really not enough characters in this game. The single player story, it's a blink and you miss it. You can blast through it. The boss fights themselves are cool, but the in-between stuff, like sniffing around and like going down narrow corridors, like that's really not that engaging at all. And I feel like that's a leftover of how they've developed the Naruto Storm series. Because what this trailer shows me is that the boss fights are going to be cool, right? Which that's a given in any CyberConnect 2 game. Their boss fights are going to be really, really cinematic. Although in recent years, I feel like they've somewhat fell off with their boss fights, in my opinion, from where I recall them building up their resume from the Storm series. I feel like with Hinokami Chronicles and even with Kakarot, I feel like they took, I don't know if they took criticism that people don't like QTE events or they don't like interactive boss fights in the middle of, the actual boss fight. But I'm all like, I don't know. At this point, I'm just rambling. At this point, I am really just rambling. I don't understand why they've kind of taken a backseat to the QTE cinematic boss fights and just making the games overall cinematic rather than letting the player interact with the cinematics, if that makes sense. Because right now, we're getting Entertainment District arc. That is confirmed. We are getting that. We are getting HASHIRA training arc as well, and the Swordsmith Village arc too. Because right here, obviously is HASHIRA training arc because you see some of the students tied back from the recent arc in the anime, and I think that's about it. Oh, and then the training with the puppet. The training with the multiple sword puppet that Tanjiro got his new sword from. That's from HASHIRA training as well. This is entertainment, obvious. I'm sorry, not entertainment. The Swordsmith Village arc. Tokito, let's see if he's stuck in that same water bubble for 3-4 episodes. We'll have to wait and see. Love HASHIRA. She's going to have a great moment. I mean, yeah, the new thing with this that I can see, and again, it's 50-50 if you even want to consider it new, because I remember how they advertised Naruto Storm. I think it was Revolution. It was the game after Storm 3 where they introduced every Storm game they try to say like what's new? What's going to happen? Outside of the story, what new mechanics, what new gameplay can you expect to see in the next Naruto game? And I remember with Storm Revolution specifically, at least in relation to its first trailer, the biggest thing in that trailer was showing off the Team Ultimate Jutsu. The trailer ended with Naruto gearing up a Rasengan, and then Sasuke is right next to him, like charging it up with Chidori, and then they combine it together to do an ultimate. That was the big, like, you know, hey, this is the new thing that's coming to Storm Revolution. Now, mind you, there were other changes and things that came in Storm Revolution, but that was the big thing. That was the big selling point. And literally, this trailer ends in a very, very similar fashion. Tanjiro and Nezuko doing a team ultimate attack. Like, literally, it's almost verbatim Naruto and Sasuke, the way it's like positioned. You have Naruto on one side, Sasuke on the other. Go back and watch that trailer. It's them like charging up and directly at the screen with their attack, and then they land the attack, and then, you know, the title comes on. It verbatim. Go and watch that. Go and watch that portion because it ends the same exact way. But either way, that seems to be the next big thing that's coming in Hinokami Chronicles 2. You're gonna get team ultimate attacks in the game, and I hope they do a lot with them, because I imagine the brand new characters that people will be excited for are the HASHIRA, and since it is adapting only up to the HASHIRA training arc, to my knowledge, and we also have the movie that is confirmed to come out next year, the first movie of the trilogy for the Infinity Castle arc. They are not going to adapt the HASHIRA doing their ultimate attacks from whatever happens in those movies, right? Maybe they'll have DLC, a season pass. The thing is, I know that CyberConnect 2, knowing them, knowing how much they're a business first before anything, they definitely would want to make Hinokami Chronicles 3 based off of the entire trilogy of movies. So however long that takes, if they're dropping one movie every year, that leaves at least between this game's release, 2025, up until 2028 or 29. That's like a 3 to 4 year gap for Hinokami Chronicles 3 to come out to adapt the brand new arc, the finale of the series, which is Infinity Castle arc. So I see your game. I see your game, CyberConnect 2. It's not that hard to piece together. So we'll wait and see how this is. I mean, so far, it's not really doing anything. It's typical CyberConnect 2. They have great cinematics, great trailers that show off those cinematics. But the moment-to-moment gameplay or the stuff in between fights, it's like, those are the parts that they never really seek to improve on or try to push the envelope with. So we'll have to wait and see. I hope Team Ultimate Jutsus is not the only thing they're adding to the game. I hope there's more gameplay mechanics that they're adding to flesh out the combat. Because I do like the combat in Hinokami Chronicles. I do like the combat. I think it's more methodical compared to, say, Storm, which I love the Storm series, the Naruto Ninja Storms. I'm really good at those games in particular, the fighting in them. But as it relates to Hinokami Chronicles, I think Hinokami is trying to be more technical than Naruto, in my opinion, with how the combat is. So maybe they'll add in more stuff so that the combat can be even more technical than how it was in the first game. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I know I've been going on for like almost 14 minutes now on a trailer that's like barely even 2. So let me know what you guys think. What do you need Hinokami Chronicles to do for you when it releases? Again, it's CyberConnect 2. I've become jaded over the years with their games just based on how they release on day one, the content in their games on day one, and really how their trailers serve to function in promoting their games. It's really a hype fest up until release, right? They're going to show you the best parts of the game, the best moments, and you're buying into their game thinking, wow, that's the entire game. It's the same thing with Kakarot. I like Kakarot to an extent, but Kakarot had so many flaws to it. But then I look back at the trailers, and the trailers only showcase the best parts of Kakarot. And it's like, damn, man. Thank God I didn't buy Kakarot day one. I can confirm that. I learned my lesson after Storm 4 when it comes to day one purchases of CyberConnect 2 games. And Kakarot was, to me, a bullet dodged in terms of having it as a day one purchase. I eventually bought it, but not at full price day one. But again, let me know what you think. Maybe I'm in the minority here when it comes to this opinion on CyberConnect 2 or the Demon Slayer games. I am interested in it. I'm open-minded to see how it might change my mind regarding, CyberConnect 2's involvement with it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the gameplay or the video, be sure to drop a like. Helps the video in the algorithm a lot. And we will see you on the next one, folks. DJA signing off. We'll see you next time.